All right, it's working now. What the heck is going on? All right, Somewhere Del Piso back once again with yet another live stream, guys. We are here in the United States. Oops. Yeah, we're here in the United States. Another wonderful day in paradise. And another, what's going on here? Another wonderful day in paradise. Just living life, man. Just dealing with the consequences of our actions. Isn't it lovely? I reckon it is. Anyway, it's about 1 o'clock over here in the afternoon. What's going on, Supreme Being? Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Who is that? That's Eternal. What's going on? What's wrong, Somewhere Del Piso? What's wrong? You guys can always tell when there's something up with me, man. I'm good. You know, we just living life, just going through it, man. This is just what it is. We're just going through it, really. Just going through life, What you done? I didn't do anything. I really didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I really didn't. I did it. I trust. I'm just, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to figure stuff out, you know. I have to do more YouTube stuff, but yeah. We're doing well. He's capping. Where'd you learn that from? Nothing happened. Guys, I promise you nothing happened. Guys, I'm just saying I'm going through life. Why is it that there has to be something wrong with me? Or I did something mischievous. I didn't do anything. I've done nothing. I am innocent this time. The ends. The ends, bro. That's how he learned it. That's where he learned it. No, seriously. Nothing happened. I'm just living life. You good with? I'm not good with keeping secrets. That's the thing. So if there's something that actually happened, I would have just divulged that information. But nothing happened, guys. Nothing happened. I'm just living life. Yeah. I have to cook, actually. I think I'm going to do that when I get back home tonight. I've been working in Hackney this past week. It's like real life Top Boy. It's not rough in Hackney. Hackney is cooked now. No, mammoths. He said Hackney is cooked. Is tough. It's not real life Top Boy in Hackney, man. No way, man. Oh my goodness. But no, seriously, was it really bad? But yeah, no, life is good. Life is good. How's everyone doing? No, I meant the accents, mate. Deshane. Sully. That was a good show, actually. It's a good show. But yeah, man. I don't know, man. Guys, leave some likes. Leave some likes as per usual. Leave some likes. Comment, of course, so I can know who you are. Yeah. In the house. So we're gonna probably do a stream when the storm hits. It's supposed to be. When is it gonna happen? It's gonna happen like tomorrow, right? How they all speak. I asked where's the best place for food. Someone asked me how much I had. He's like, I thought you meant food. No way! No, they didn't say that, man. They didn't say that, Eternal. They didn't say that. They're too dramatic in England. He said how they all speak. I asked, where's the best place for food, man? I'm just just want some munch, you know what I mean? Oh, some food. You need some food, yeah? They didn't say this, man. Do they look like someone who wants food? They look like everybody. They look like anyone, Eternal. Oh, so the storm starts tonight. I still have it on Sophia. It's crazy. Look, Sophia is wonderful today. Look how warm it is over there. Look, I'm telling you, yo, Bulgaria, if you guys looked at the video that I put, that's the one pro that Bulgaria has over Serbia. It's the weather. Because when I was over there, the weather was amazing. It was still cold, but still. It's 43. It's supposed to be 43 in Serbia right now. That's crazy. Of course, Albania is always warm. I'm telling you. Well, relatively, Honolulu, New York. That's giving it justice. It's actually much colder than that. Yep. Tomorrow morning, the snowstorm is supposed to start. Better forestry too in Bulgaria. Then Serbia. When it comes to naturaleza, no. Serbia has that country beat. I'm telling you, Serbia is a way more beautiful country than Bulgaria. He said, honestly, Hackney is cooked. You will never catch me over in London again. Let's see, Death Valley, California. $61 over there. It's nuts. Anyway, guys, how we doing, man? How we doing? Let's ask some questions. We're gonna have some chats. This is a daily reminder for you all, right? For you all to you must make the toughest decisions in life. You must. If you are somehow being subjugated, or not subjugated, but what's the word? If there is something that's limiting you, right? You have to break through that limit, no matter what. Seriously, you have to find some way to do it. It will be hard, but you got to do it. You have to do it. You just have to. And that's that. That is that. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but I was trying to sound profound. But yeah. What if you have no arms or legs? You got to push or go through. You just got to roll through. You got to roll on through. Just roll your torso. Mr. Valentine, he said, moving to another country was always my plan and it's weighing me down. It's hard. You got to do it. Just keep going. It's the beginning of this year. You should be all right. You should be okay. Keep going. Plan your life. Plan your life and push through. But yeah, I don't even know what I was. I wanted a live stream, and then I had some stuff to talk about. So I came from the supermarket today. I came from Target. I bought this new pot because I'm gonna make some cooked lamb shoulder later. Right. Oh yeah, you were saying this last stream, Valentine. So what was I gonna say? So I'm dealing with this employee. This employee was so nonchalant. I don't need another lamp. I'm good. But this employee was so nonchalant. She had the worst attitude. Johnny and Pazashki. It was so funny. Play Speed Demon by Justin Bieber. No! How about no, Scott? Yes, lamb bought, but lamps no. But yeah. Where are you from? I'm from Sweden. I'm from Sweden, my friend. Where is this from? This is Uzbek. This is an Uzbek brand. What time is it in Sweden? It's 8 o'clock. I'm starting to believe that you hate lamps, poor lambs, justice for lamps. I don't need any more lamps. I have two great ones. I have one right there, one right here. Well, one right here, one right there. Rosalie, what's up? You look like Bang Chan from Stray Kids. I don't know who that is. Bang Chan, Stray Kids. No, I don't. He's a little younger, and he's more Korean than I am. Do you have a lamp in the toilet? Yeah. No, I don't. No. I don't need one. I have a light. I have two lights in the bathroom. You sound 100% American. That's because I am Jalen. Or Jail, however you say your name. I lied. I'm not Swedish at all. But yeah, man. Life is interesting. Life is interesting. We're at the end of January. There's nothing going on in my foreseeable future. Dead serious. Timo is a big hit in America. Oh, Jay Alex. Ah, okay, got it. From India, Eternal's favorite place. Yeah, that's because a lot of Americans don't know anything about real quality because we don't know anything about anything really. That's why Temu does very well here in the United States. My cousin's in Sweden. He's a designer at Volvo. And that's nice. Wow, congrats. I've never actually been to the Nordics. I've never been to Sweden. But yeah, ain't nothing gonna happen in my foreseeable future, man. Life is interesting. It's so funny when like things change, right? No, I was kidding. I'm not in Sweden. I've never been to Sweden. I live in the United States. I live in New York. When things change, man, like I feel like with this girl, like if you when like once I stop chasing her, it feels like things are like I'm just like in this open world. Like I've been I was doing whatever I wanted anyway, but I feel like it's completely different now. I heard India is such a beautiful place. It is, by the way. These guys were talking about India last stream on how beautiful the north is. India is complicated these days, so I've heard. So I've heard. So. At least we have restaurant week to occupy my thoughts. I feel like yesterday I feel like I was just getting taunted by life. Life has been very interesting lately, man. I don't know how to describe what's been going on. We're at the end of January. He said, "Bro, you are not from Sweden." Oh my goodness! I just Googled it. Okay, what did you Google? What did you Google? What did you Google, Mr. Chumi? Bradford is too, and Birmingham. there is a beauty to Birmingham. It's just that we just don't see it. Us regular people, us normies. There are some eccentrics, right? He said the time, and it's 12 p.m. Oh my good. Sorry, man. I was indoors all day. I've never checked the watch, the clock. Yeah, man. Sorry, man. It is 12 o'clock. It is 12, man. I know you're being sarcastic. They're horrible. Birmingham, you'll never find somebody else so live streaming from there. Birmingham. Oh my goodness. It is 11:28 p.m. here. Oh, in India. Are you in India or are you in? No. It's someone that you know that's from Sweden or lives in Sweden. But yeah, man, life has been very interesting these past couple of days. Yeah, life is just life. Really. I don't know, man. I don't know how to describe it. I guess I gotta occupy my days, do something. I mean, I've been working a lot, but that's about it. Seriously, I had someone call me earlier from India. He said, "Bro, sleep. It's too late." I'm about to. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna end the live stream, guys. Thanks for tuning in, man. I gotta go to sleep. It is 12 o'clock here in Sweden. Turns out he was a scammer in a call center. He's so silly. Eternal, come on. He is so silly, man. Remember, a lot of these companies just outsource work, like especially cold calling jobs. India is beautiful. I believe you. Me? No, dude. I own a farm and I'm a lawyer as well. Nice. You must be doing very well over there in India. Yeah, Nigeria is not the most beautiful country. I'll tell you that right now. It is not the most beautiful country. I do want to see this video. Our boy is doing a review on an Andrew Tate video saying that men have nothing to lose and the system is in danger. That is interesting. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that nowadays modern men don't have anything to lose and the system is in danger? The system as we know it? I think so. I think what it is, like, I could speak from here to the moon about, being sexually disciplined, right? We could talk about semen retention. We could talk about gathering your finances. We could talk about a whole bunch of stuff in terms of optimizing your life. But a lot of men, like, seriously, like, I think a lot of, like, we could look at some stats right now, Eternal, on that. I think that a lot of men are disillusioned now. I think that it's very hard for like men. Like, first of all, a lot of men haven't even been in relationships or had anything sexual in the past like 2 years. And for a lot of men, that time frame is extended. So there's that, and then there's maybe they're not doing very well at work. Maybe they still live with their parents. He said, I got 4 kids. I fear their future in this world. Yeah, no, I believe you. I don't have any kids, but men are not getting married. Men are not having children. I'm telling you, at least in the modern world, like in like the West. Sweden, of course, that's another place. Sweden is cooked over there. The birth rate is cooked over there. South Korea, sorry. Um, Italy. All it takes is one bad hustle in life or a mistake to throw it all away. You're right. But still, I think that a lot of men have nothing to lose now, or they feel like they have nothing to lose. Seriously. Like you could even a lot of men find I guess they define themselves through family, right? Which makes a lot of sense. No, no, what happened to Sam? Eternal. I think, and a lot of men just don't have families. Like, I don't have a family. Like, and you guys hear how I'm talking about going to Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. These guys are like, yo, you want to be careful over there. And then I'm just like, who cares? I see. I'm indicative of that as well. Like, if you want to talk about it, like, well, okay, I get kidnapped in Uzbekistan and then they chop my legs off and then they feed me to somebody, right? Which is what they're not going to do over there. I don't think so. But it could happen. It's not a 0% chance of it happening. I wouldn't care. Like, okay, I have my apartment here in New York. Like, I have 2 jobs. But I wouldn't really care if I get destroyed in Uzbekistan. I get chopped up, or hopefully I get killed instantly. I don't want to get chopped up. But I wouldn't care if I get killed instantly in Uzbekistan or Kazakhstan or any of these places because I really have nothing to lose. I just have some apartment that I'm locked in a 2-year lease for. I have a nice sheepskin coat, got some paintings, I got a YouTube channel, and I work 2 jobs. Like, that doesn't matter. That stuff is like unimportant, man. All that stuff doesn't matter. I really have nothing. I don't have any kids. I don't have a girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have anything. He had his own business, was making millions a month with a company, but then he took one bad investment. Now he's homeless. They actually ended up writing him out of his own company. That's nuts. That is crazy. All it takes is just one bad investment. You're absolutely right. That's why you got to worry about having investors. And that when you get investors when you have your own business, that means you're trying to really upscale. And I don't know. For me, I'm fine with making my own money. I don't want any like outside investors. I don't want any of that. I don't want to have to listen to anyone. Seriously. It's hard to live life in the US right now, right? Similar case here with us. It's not hard. Don't get me wrong. Like, I make good money. Like, I live on my own. I don't have any roommates. I have a good apartment. It's very white in here, like literally, because the neighborhood isn't. The neighborhood isn't. But for the most part, yeah, no, I have 2 good jobs. I'm doing pretty well in both the jobs. Um, but let's just call it what it is. Like, I'm not doing anything really in life besides having a YouTube channel. Like, I'm not really doing anything. I travel. Yeah, where was the last place we went to, guys? We went Bulgaria. We did North Macedonia, right? So yeah, no, it was fun. It was great, but I don't really have anything. I don't really have anything worthwhile. Like I had the Airbnb host for it in Sofia. He had like this daughter, and she was cool. She was very shy at first. She must have been like 5 or 6. I don't know how old. Maybe a little older than that, but he was like, "Oh, this is my daughter. We just took her from her tennis practice. She goes like 3, 4 times a week." I was like, "You got another Maria Sharapova, or however you say her name." But like he has something to lose, him, because he has a wife at home that she was cooking whilst he was talking to me. He has a daughter. He has a whole estate in Sofia. You know what I mean? And it's going through renovation. Yeah, he has something to lose. So he can't afford getting chopped up in Uzbekistan. Sombra del Piso here, yes, I could die. And it doesn't really matter. Seriously. I don't have any debt. I have good savings, but it doesn't even matter. Really, it really doesn't matter. So I don't have anything to lose, and I can only imagine like men that don't necessarily have their own apartment. Because I heard some people are paying like 1,700 to be a roommate in Midtown Manhattan. I'm like, that's crazy. But yeah, our stock market crashed like crazy today. Gold is going sky high. All thanks to your president. This guy's doing his best to destabilize everything. Corporates at 1% are taking away from our plates and getting richer and richer, while you and I got to do 2 gigs to make ends meet. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. But even so, like, okay, if I was working less, like, it wouldn't be really changed. Like, my life wouldn't really be changed. But I've always invested in gold, never sold it either. I have around 160K worth of gold bars currently. Eternal, you've done it. You have done it. I'm envious of you, mate. I've never done crypto either. But yeah, I'm invested in gold. Good. But yeah, I'm not really doing anything. Let's just call it what it is. Ain't nothing really happening. He said, yes, 2 gigs, but look where you was this time last year. This time last year, that's right. Weren't we, we were down bad last year, weren't we? We were down bad last year. We, how did, what happened last year? I remember in the New Year's, I was in this Russian restaurant and we were talking. This is when everything was sweet and copacetic with the Albanian girl. Everything was going. I thought I was on my way up. I was like, finally, a girl that sees me for who I am, and we could actually. I wasn't thinking like that. I was like, she's cool. This is very interesting. This is very interesting. What's going on with her? This is what I was thinking. And I'm like, I'm surprised that like she's speaking to me very, very actively. Yeah, man, I don't know. It was different. We were down bad last year. I wasn't even working at this point, right? I was unemployed. We lost the government job, the city job. And then yeah, last year was kind of nuts. You're right. I was living at home. I was living with my sister. Wow. I had one small room. I couldn't yell like this because I didn't have my own space. Damn, wow, what happened? You're right, Eternal. Yeah, I guess. Everything had to happen for a reason, I suppose. Yeah, we didn't have our place last year. I was looking for places, but it was just difficult. I was going through the same avenues that a lot of other people were doing. So naturally, I wasn't getting any traction. And then everything was expensive. Yeah, I was with my sister. My sister is liberal as hell, man. My sister is liberal as hell. She really boycotted Amazon just because of the ethical reasons, and then she stays asking me to order stuff via Amazon, except other than versus her just downloading the app again. It's crazy. Anyway, yeah, 2 jobs. Yeah, you're right, Eternal. A lot of things have changed. We got we doing our thing in life. How's it going, brother? I hope you have a good day. Thank you. I have a great day. You could meet a gal one day. Everyone needs somebody one day. By the way, yeah, that's congrats for you, Alex. Um, you met one woman and then you went to college, got married. It's different here in the West when it comes to that. So now you're buying fur coats and expensive shoes. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Eternal. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I suppose you're right. I just paid rent last week. Yeah. Now we good to go. We really good to go. I think we're okay in that aspect. But we could do a little better in life. I think financially I could do a little better, much better. So, um, you're right, Eternal. You're absolutely right. Things have changed radically since last year, but that wouldn't do anything. You know what I mean? He said summer last year would have said absolutely not. Things, I'm not gonna lie, I'll be honest. I was thinking about it the other day. Like life could have been, I was already headed to this trajectory anyway. Let's just call it what it is, Eternal. I was already headed to this trajectory anyway. I didn't need to meet this girl. I really didn't. I didn't need to go as far as I did with this girl because she changed everything. She did. I Everything was good. My YouTube was doing so well. I was yelling. I was excited. Semen retention, all this stuff. I was so excited on YouTube. In life. And I wasn't even making a lot. I was so excited. Then comes this girl, and then she just changed everything. And then nothing really happened. Now it's like, it's a new year. I guess it's the end of January. And we back to square one, really, if you really want to think about it like that. We're back to square one. You know what I mean? We're back to square one. And then we're much wiser. And I'm not gonna say I'm jaded, but I definitely have an understanding on how people really, really are, which I always did. So how many tech jobs did you apply and didn't get? Then you traveled, met the girl, got 2 jobs, bought good stuff. See? Yeah, but I still want the tech job because if we could work remote, guys, you know where we're going, right? I just want to let you know. You know where somewhere that Piso and company are going. We going straight to Serbia. We are going straight to Serbia. I promise you. If we got the tech job remote, yeah, we're going straight to Serbia. Not really square one because you came away with more knowledge. Yeah, but still, it's like, yeah. It could have worked out. Eternally could have worked out. But now we just here. We're just really here. I suppose. But it's life. He said, don't you get lonely alone? Yo, sure. Every now and then, but I realize like, yo, it's rough out there. It's rough out there. We have, I don't know, like people expect so many things. People are angry in the United States. People, I don't know. I just can't. Yeah. It's a little lonely sometimes, but for the most part, I think I'm good. You know, I work a lot. I don't really notice. I'm trying new things. So I have a stupidly expensive business idea right now. It's still in my head because I need like $300K for a patent. Uh-oh. It's indeed rough. We have our wars too as a couple, but we patch up. Yeah, there's no prospect. Alex, I spent a long time in this very ambiguous situation with this girl, and yeah, I had to walk away from it because it wasn't doing me any good. I wasn't benefiting from the situation at all. I wasn't benefiting at all. It's like she will never be. It's dead serious. I'm not even saying it as something cliche, but she will just never hold herself accountable. It's crazy. She will never hold herself accountable for her actions. And I'm sure she's probably speaking to other people. I think for validation. I don't know if she was, because I think when we were like together, I think it was just me and her. I don't know. I would like to think so. I think so. But I don't regret walking away, Eternal. No. It's so fun. You see, I guess that's a growth, right? Because before we were down bad with that situation, but I don't regret walking away because she just doesn't get it. I'm telling you, she just doesn't understand. She just doesn't simple reciprocation. Like she just doesn't get it. She views if you highlight something critical about her personality, she goes into flight mode and then she just avoids the situation. That's really what it is. And so it's like we're never gonna grow. It's like constantly, and then you have someone like me. Like I have such good rapport with her mother. Her mother loves me a lot. I love her mother. Her son, I was in good communication with her son. Then she always wanted to keep me away from the stepfather because I don't know, she has like some situation with the stepfather. And the stepfather liked me. He found out that Sombra Del Piso went to Bulgaria. The guy lived in Bulgaria for 15 years. The guy speaks, I think, Bulgarski, Serbski, Macedonian, Albanian, Italiano, Francais, English. This guy speaks like 6 languages. And then we were talking. I showed him some pictures. He was excited. I was building rapport with this guy. All the cousins like me. The brothers like Sombra del Piso. But we're not getting back on this. Eternal, listen, dude, I do not regret walking away because she just doesn't know. It is this delusion she has. It's like I was doing everything. I didn't mind every Sunday I wouldn't mind taking everyone out to dinner. I really wouldn't mind that. Like, cause this is what men do. You know what I mean? Like this is what I feel like doing. I feel like everyone would be happy. They don't have to worry about money and then you could just eat and we could just talk and get to know each other. Who cares about that, the cost and whatnot. And like, I got really good presents for Christmas for these guys. I was always there. I was always present. It's like whatever. I'm telling you, and I feel any other girl in the world would eat up what I did for this woman. Would love it. So, yeah, we're not gonna try to expend too much of my finite energy, by the way, which I think is unique, on a situation that was not reciprocative. It's as simple as that. And word of the wise to you guys, don't do the same. What's going on? We got another sheepdog in the chat. What's going on? See, you've come a long way with knowledge. I feel you, brother. Seriously, it's hard raising kids these days because they got a lot of negative influence from school and friends. Yep. Yes, Wrathful, I want them to be righteous and always stand for what they are. He said, that's what's up. Yeah. I'm telling you guys, you can't don't ever, in your lives, do not ever put yourself in a situation where you feel like you have to perform to prove yourself to one person. Because everyone else, it's not like that. But for one person, don't ever give something to someone and it's not a balance. I'm not saying that you should give to receive, but I'm saying that people should be appreciative of what you do for them. And they should let that be known every now and then. If they don't compliment you, they're not happy to see you. They don't say they don't go out of their way to see you. They're not vulnerable with you. Yeah, I'm telling you, if that's not the case, guys, I'm telling you, you should just walk away. No matter how lonely you think you're going to be, just walk away because it's just going to be a slow destruction if you remain in that situation. It's just going to be a slow destruction. And I wouldn't recommend any soul go through some stuff like that. So that's my point of view, guys. I'm telling you. It's crazy. It's like, that's the one thing. She will never understand and you know what it is? It's the same thing. Women will always understand later. They will always, when they realize that there's not an abundance of emotionally available men whose credit cards don't decline. Let's call it what it is. Who's emotionally present? Who will go to Serbia at a moment's notice? There's not an abundance of those types of men, especially in your situation. But they never get it. They'll only get it later. And then when they will come back and then they're going to try to say, oh, what the heck, I'm sorry. Or not, they wouldn't even, because the egos are too big. And so they're going to try to weasel their way back in and then without apologizing or without being forthright and honest, which is what we want them to be anyway. And then they're going to have expectations and entitlements to things. And then when the situation has flipped, they're going to say that you've changed. But in reality, you're not giving out freely what you used to give freely anymore because the situation has changed. You've understood the dynamic. You've understood your strengths. They never get it. They'll never get it. But hey, listen, it's not my job to try to make anyone understand anything. My job is to see if we could get a little better this year. I don't know what's going to happen this year, but I want to sort of improve this year. I feel like this is the money year for sure. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think at the end of this year, lads, I think that we are going to be at a little bit of a better place. I do understand that people from my country are acting like they're super privileged and they're bringing all of us Indians a bad reputation. Yeesh. But yeah, I feel like this year is going to be a good year. I just have to, we just have to go through life a little bit. We just got to go through life, see what is in store, and then we will continue. We'll continue life. What can you do? Anyway, guys, ask some questions. Where's everyone at? Where's everyone at? We have a couple people in the live stream, but where's people at? Onwards and upwards, Madrila. I don't think it's going to be a great year with too much global tension. I feel like there's going to be a war or multiple ones apart from the Russia-Ukraine situation. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think for me personally, and my personal finances, I think that it's going to be a good year. I'm going to be honest. I think it's going to be a good year. I do want to go to Kazakhstan this year. I really do. But my sister's yelling about Japan, and I don't. Listen, I mean, Japan is cool, I guess, but I'm not as excited to go to Japan as I am to go to like Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. It's gonna be fire over there. It's gonna be fire. I really feel it. I really feel it. But then again, they might have like the Eastern European sass, and it's just gonna be annoying. Which I don't doubt that either. That's what you realize. You realize a lot of these guys are just consumers, really. I agree with Somerdale's sister. Yeah, she want to go to Japan, man. Japan is lit. I don't know, man. I believe you, but I'm not really excited to go to Japan. I'm gonna call it what it is. I'm gonna call it what it is. I'm not really excited to go over there. I'm not very excited to go over there. But I'll go if Toto want to go. Because it's her birthday in April. So if you want to go, we can go. But I don't know. I'm not super. As soon as I was looking up what you could do in Almaty and I found out about the spa in Kazakhstan, I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to check that out. I can't wait to check that out. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like this year is going to be somewhat of a good year. We're starting off to like a strange start. We have the snowstorm coming up. I'm still working these jobs. It's quiet in the apartment. The fact that I got my own apartment is kind of crazy. I didn't think I was gonna. I thought the first move was gonna be overseas. I have to go and spend some time with my female. Oh, at least you're doing something, man. Eternal. At least you got a partner. I'm gonna probably live stream tomorrow. Most likely tomorrow. You know what's funny? We have this new guy working with us in the restaurant. He's like, so what's going on with you, man? You're like happily single, or you got a partner? What's going on, right? And I was like, no, it's just me. He's like, yeah, and you got to be playing around, like going around. And I'm like, no, it's just sticking to myself, man. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm not into the hookup thing. Like I'm just hanging out. He's like, oh, you're a good looking dude, man. I'm surprised you don't have anybody. Like, yo, life is what it is, man. See you on tomorrow, depending on the time zone. Yeah, for sure. The snowstorm is gonna start in the morning. So I'm definitely gonna be around in a bit. Ow, what is that? Farquad Haya, what's up? What's going on? Golden Trio, what's up? You're new here. Welcome to the live stream. He said, what's going on here? You know what, Farquad? You know what you could do? You could just like deduce, make some deductions. I don't know. But anyway, guys, yeah, I'm saying ask questions. So what's going on is we have like is a question answer sort of thing, a little panel. So you could ask me some questions, and I'll try to answer as many questions as I can, as accurately as I can, all that stuff. And he said I liked. Did you? I only have 5 likes here. I'm gonna go now, but just because I'm gonna go ahead and leave a like, maybe even a sub, even though I probably won't be here again. Well, thank you, Farquad. That's nice. It's good to support. It's always good to support. You got 6 likes. No, I have 7 now. Well, 6. You're right, 6 because I have for some reason the stream automatically gives a like when I start it. Woo! 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 I don't know what I'm trying to do. Anyway, guys, ask me some questions. And I will tell you no lies. Okay, we have a question. Golden Trio. Sombra, how old are you? I am 34. I am 34 years old. I am Microsoft customer care. We have a detected virus in your computer, sir. That's an interesting way you worded it. I mean, the sentence structure is kind of strange, but I believe you. I definitely have a virus. So how do I get rid of this virus? I'm guessing you have the cure to this, the solution. I'm thinking of Dragon Quest 7. They're coming out with a remake, and isn't that coming out like next month? Hold on. Dragon Quest 7. That's coming out like next month. You have to send me your credit card number and password so I can proceed with the virus removal program, sir. Okay, how can I send you my my credit card number? Where do these guys come from? Why are they trying to fool us? Yo, the battle for this game looks crazy. I'm not even a video game guy anymore. Just kidding, bro. Of course I know. Hello. Think I was gonna give you my card? He's like, get them likes up. So, yo, guys, ask some questions. I will tell you no lies. Ask some questions. Ask some questions, guys. It's Somer Del Piso. Leave some likes on the live stream, please. Please. All right, let me get something else to drink. When I come back, I better have some questions in the live stream. Ask some questions, guys. Ask some questions. gotta have compote. That's right. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, do you like cars? Sort of. What country are you from? United States. Mm. Fresh Georgian sour cherry compote. You can't beat it. He said, what's the next trip after March? I'm going to, what is it, April, May, June, July, August. In August, I would like to do the Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan trip. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to try to concentrate all of my resources to have that will create that. We need to go to Kazakhstan. I don't think you guys understand this. Somber del Piso needs to go to Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. I believe that there's something over there waiting for us. I believe it. He said, where is that at? No, this is Central Asia. So right to the east of Azerbaijan. Wait, really? Hold on. Wait, give me 1 second. Kazakhstan. No, it's a little more east than that. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I think I'm right. Hold on, let me see. Right to the east of, I think it's Paruski. It's the Paruski land right here. Nope, that is, what is this? This is Paruski land. Yes, Paruski land, and then there's Ukraine. So my bad. Azerbaijan, okay. So that's across the, what water is this? The Caspian Sea. It is right to the east of the Caspian Sea. What is your favorite food? Pesto pasta with salmon. This was so good. He's a good choice. Yep. I've never been to Azerbaijan. Do they speak the Paruski in Azerbaijan? Yeah, of course they do. Wow, there's a lot of countries that speak Russian. Sheesh. Yeah, man, I'm excited. So yeah, Supreme Being, we're gonna do the Japan thing, whatever, blah blah blah, and then I'm trying to do at least like 2 weeks and change in what do you call it? This place, Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. Kazakhstan is huge, man. That's such a huge country. And then if I can go to Kyrgyzstan, that'd be nice. Apparently, it takes like 5 hours. Look how desolate the land is. Hold on. Let me go to maps. What do I do for a living? I work in a Georgian restaurant, and I also work for the New York State. Let's see. All right, directions. We're gonna do was it Almaty, right? Almaty to Bishkek. It's like 5 hours or something like that. Oh, that's it? No. Oh, it's only 3 hours. Oh, it's nothing. Oh, we can get up in Bishkek. I think I meant Tashkent. Tashkent is like something. Like how many? Like 5 hours. 10 hours to get to Tashkent. What about from Bishkek to Tashkent? Why does it take so long to drive to this country, man? I told you what I did for a living. Kazakhstan, home of swimming pools, length 30 meters, width 6 meters, filtration system, a marvel to behold. Remove 80% of human solid waste. That's cool. He said that's Borat. What? Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan? I don't know. I really don't know. Let me see. And I can't go to China, right? I don't think I'm allowed to go to China. Yeah, I can't just roll up in there. Take a car. I just can't roll up in China, man. I'm gonna get in trouble. Look it out. Okay, when you get to the west, West China is like desolate. And then when you go more east, yeah, Chongqing, Chengdu, Xi'an, Wuhan, Nanxing, Hangzhou, Shanghai. I didn't know where Shanghai was. Qingdao. Wow, look at this place, man. Borat the movie. You must watch it. If I watched the movie, I watched it. I thought it was pretty funny. All right, let's do some research. We're on World Population Review. Let's go to Kazakhstan. Let's see what's going on in Kazakhstan, man. They have 21.1 million people in Kazakhstan, naturally, because the country's so goddamn big. And their population, that's like one of the only modern societies or modern countries where the birth rate is growing, actually. So whatever they're doing in Kazakhstan is correct because they don't have a birth rate crisis. Every 1.3 minutes, someone is getting born in Kazakhstan. Wow. Okay, what's the biggest city? Almaty, Astana. So Almaty has 2 million. One of the lowest population densities globally. Yeah. Because why would you want to leave Kazakhstan if, first of all, the food over there is wavy? I think they have a growing IT sector, so there's work in Kazakhstan. Let me see. How much, what is the, let's find out right now. Monthly wage, average monthly wage in Kazakhstan. Average monthly wage in Kazakhstan. 900 USD a month. Okay. I couldn't afford this apartment if I was on that, but okay. Astana. What is the third biggest city in Kazakhstan? Shymkent, Karaganda. Let me see. Hey, yo, they got a city called Oral. I think it's Karaganda. It's Karaganda. Karaganda is the third largest city in Kazakhstan. So whatever they're doing, Karaganda. Whatever they're doing in Kazakhstan, it's working. I'm telling you, and we know this. Kizilorda. Wow, they got some nice names. Pavlodar. So Kazakhstan is a nation in Central Asia and the world's biggest landlocked area in terms of land area. It's bordered by Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, China, Russia, and the Caspian Sea. The ethnic majority of the country are Kazakhs, only 63.1%. Although there's a large number of other ethnicities present, such as ethnic Russians, which make up more than a quarter, Uzbeks, which are less than 3%, Ukrainians, which are 2%, Germans, there's 1% of Kazakhstan are Germans. That's crazy. Some minority groups in Kazakhstan, including Germans, Ukrainians, Chechens from Chechnya. Wow, okay. Remember the other day there was these two guys that came into the restaurant, and one was from Chechnya, and then the other one was from Kazakhstan. Ah, okay. They were deported to Kazakhstan in the 1930s and 1940s by Stalin as Russian political opponents. Okay. So Kazakhstan was like Australia, right? So Kazakhstan was like Australia. It's like a spot for prisoners. I didn't know that. Meshkedian Turks, I didn't know. At the end of the 1980s, ethnic Russians were almost at 38% of the population, while Kazakhstanis were in a majority in just 7 of the country's 20 regions. There are also 1 million Germans in Kazakhstan prior to 1991. After the Soviet Union dissolved, most emigrated to Germany. Emigration of Russians and Germans returned indigenous Kazakhs to a majority. Okay, got it. Okay, so after 1990, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, Russians left, Germans left. Wow, because they were, okay, wow, I didn't know this. Bro, what's your dream? I don't know. Be as financially independent as possible. That's really what it is. And remain sexually disciplined till death. Okay, Islam is the most prominent religion in Kazakhstan with over 70% of the population practicing it. Within the Muslim population, Sunni and Hanafi. Okay, an additional 76% of the population practices some form of Christianity. Okay, didn't know that. He said, very good. Thanks. You look like Hulk, strong as hell. Yeah, I pay attention to what I eat. I like the gym. Thank you, Mr. Joni. Okay, in the late 1800s, thousands of people from both Ukraine and Russia were brought to settle the land that is modern day Kazakhstan. In 1916, the people wanted to break out from Soviet rule and began a rebellion that killed 150,000 and displaced another 300,000. Ultimately, they were unsuccessful in achieving autonomy at this point, and the nation was an autonomous republic of the USSR for many years to come. Throughout the 1920s and 30s, a program was begun to begin industrializing and setting up the nation to collectivize our agriculture, but the plan was ill-formed and more than 1 million people died of starvation. Sheesh. Still under Russian rule, hundreds of thousands were forcibly moved to Kazakhstan from Korea, Germany, and Uzbekistan. Wow. Yeah. So they gained full independence from Russia in 1991 when I was born. 87, what's good? What's up? All right, so that's what's going on in Kazakhstan, man. I didn't know. So that was like, Kazakhstan is like what Australia was to England, almost. Anyone who presented themselves as political opponents to Stalin and the USSR was moved to Kazakhstan. It's crazy. But it's so funny because whatever is doing right now because they don't have any birth rate problems. People are reproducing in Kazakhstan. People are getting down in Kazakhstan. I didn't know that. Let's see what's going on in Uzbekistan. And you see, a part of the reason why I need to go to Kazakhstan is so I could have something with their flag on it because I love that flag. That flag is amazing. All right, Uzbekistan. That's a cool flag. There's more people in Uzbekistan than there is in Kazakhstan? Wow. It's a country in Asia known for its ancient Silk Road cities and Islamic architecture. It has a population of 37.7 million. And its capital is Tashkent. It's a developing economy with a growing manufacturing sector. And the population is growing too in Uzbekistan. Yeah, they're getting busy in Uzbekistan. Births per day, they got a lot of births per day. Wow, okay. Obviously, Tashkent has the most people, close to 3 million people. And I guess Samarkand is next with 644,000 people in there. And then we got the remote cities. Look at this. There's a place called Denov, 68,000. Yeah, no, it's cold. I'm just wearing a hat for style, but because my apartment is warm. But yeah, no, it's cold in the United States. It's cold in New York. The storm hasn't started yet. In some place called Bekobod, it's 86,000 people in there. So Samarkand is the second. What is that thermal? It looks nice. Thank you. I do what I do, man. I do what I do. I'm getting basically this is wonderful website that gives me empirical data of all the places that I would like to go to, of all countries. So I'm just looking up these countries. Uzbekistan, there's 80%. It's 80% Uzbek, 5.5% Russian, 3% Tajik, 2.5% Karakalpak. Okay, interesting up in here. Although not a large enough group to make the above list, there are also around 20,000 ethnic Koreans in Uzbekistan, descendants of the Koreans deported to Central Asia by Stalin. Yes, you see, this Georgian was wildin'. I had a thermal that was like chainmail, lasted me 10 years once. I like it for the style. I have to work later today, so I'm keeping this on. Main religion in Uzbekistan is Islam. Yeah, Uzbek is the official state language, but Russian remains widely spoken as second language for many in the country. Tajik speakers are concentrated in ethnically Tajik areas, particularly in Samarkand and Bukhara. You see, I'm telling you, you got to learn your Paruski. Luke, what's going on? Dervish, what is that? Islam is the only solution to modernity, in my opinion. I think that you just need a control over yourself. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. First, understand what meats are unclean, what foods are unclean. Understand your body. Go to the gym. Have some physical regimen if you don't want to go to the gym. You know, people have social anxiety. I don't know why. You fix your body, brush your teeth, drink a lot of water, and you'll be fine. And try to learn some other languages. You see, I got to learn the Paruski. I have to learn the Paruski. I told you. Okay, so Uzbekistan declared its independence from Russia a year before Kazakhstan. But again, these countries in Central Asia were just used as like prison areas. Just like how Australia was. All religion. Luke, how are you? How are you? What's going on over there? What is going on over there? Bulgaria. Very cool meditation dance. Yeah, I'll be fine, but I mean, as a functioning, continuing society. A lot of other religions can as well. It's just that people are just utilizing it to continue consuming as opposed to gathering energy, doing energy work, and becoming creators. He said prepping for weather. Yeah, it's gonna be brick. It's gonna be crazy. Okay, so Bulgaria has a population of 6.7 million, and its population is declining. Yeah, they are not doing their thing in Bulgaria. What is going on? Let's see. Sofia obviously has the most. Where's Plovdiv? Plovdiv is like here, right? Yeah, 346,000. And then Varna. Wow. Imagine how many retainers are in Afghanistan. They don't promote sexual continence in Islam. I know that. Some dude, what's going on? I'm waiting for a very powerful question from you now. A very esoteric question from you. All right, most people are, I'm guessing, Christian in Bulgaria. Yeah, exactly. No wonder they can be conquered. Remember, conquering comes about in many different ways. Hindus say you need to retain for 12 years. Yeah, of course. Then you get like that memory vein or something. Then you can escape samsara. Oh yeah, 12 years. I think that there's a lot of these numbers, like this data. I don't know. I'm sure you'll have some crazy experiences within the 12 years for sure. But I don't know if we should adhere to that too much because that's a lot. It is 12 years is a lot. All right, let's see North Macedonia. North Macedonia only has 1.8 million, and they're going through a population decline. Wow, and it's probably going to be because eventually all these countries in Eastern Europe are going to be part of the EU, and then everyone's going to start moving outside of these countries, and then I'm telling you, it's going to be empty in these places. Wow. What is it? Skopje has the most people. Bitola. Where's Kriva Palanka? Where's Kriva Palanka? Hold on, it's gonna be right here. Where are you, Kriva Palanka? Where are you? No. It's like right here to the east. Kriva Palanka. Nope, it's not even on the list. It's crazy. There's probably like 12, there's probably 15 people in Kriva Palanka. When you were in Carpathia, did you meet a vampire? No. No, thank goodness. No, thank goodness. Wow, all of these countries are declining. Let's see Albania. Are they getting Albania? I'm sure. No, I'm sure they're going through a population decline too, for sure. Yeah, of course they are. 2.8 million people in Tirana. They got what is the biggest cities? Tirana, Vlora, Let me guess it right now. The three biggest cities in Albania are probably Tirana, uh, Tirana, Skoder, and Durrës. Let me see. Nope, it's Durrës and Elbasan. Okay, there's only 542,000 people in Tirana. There's no one in these countries, man. I'm telling you, because they're all gone. They all just leave. They all just leave. There are mostly Albanians in the country, obviously, and then the next is Greek, of course, because like south of Albania in Saranda and Eurocaster, they're Greek over there. But there's mostly Albanians in the country. Albania has a very low fertility rate of just 1.49 children per woman. Because remember, all countries, I think they need 2 or 2.1 in order to like have a growth. And massive migration affected its demographics after the fall of communism in 1990. Between 1991 and 2004, close to 1 million people left Albania, most to Greece, and population decreased in the north and south of the country and increased in Tirana and Durrës. So, I mean, this is good news in terms of like real estate, because you can go over in Albania and then get wonderful real estate. Because at the end of the day, the country is beautiful. You could, if you're like some sort of creative, independent, yeah, and you have like money to spend, yes, you can go over to Albania. You have a place. I'm going to Albania. First of all, it's cheap. You can get a car. It's cheap to rent a car in Albania or cheap to buy a car. And then you just chill in your place. You could go to Durrës by the water and you just relax. That's optimal for sure. That's optimal. That's optimal. But we're not really thinking about that. You said the world's a mess with a fiat currency. It's a lot of things, but remember this. A lot of this could be twisted to our advantage if we know how to play the game. Okay, so let's go to my favorite country in Eastern Europe, Serbia. What's going on in Serbia? 6.6 million, of course. Serbia is going through a deep population decline. We already know. Of course, we know the three biggest cities: Novi Sad, Belgrade, and Niš. Yep. I knew it. Niš has more people in there than Novi Sad. And this is why they were stressing the problem when I was in this place. Is there anything you didn't take to your trip to Eastern Europe that you wished you did? My laptop to Bulgaria so I could have edited and sent more videos out or uploaded more videos. Subotica. Wow. Nova Pazar. There's nobody in there. Yeah, but the world isn't about me alone. 87. The problem, I'm going to tell you something right now. I think a big issue in a lot of this self-help space is we're trying to help other people. Like we're thinking we're putting too much of an importance of other people above ourselves. I'm not saying be selfish, but you need to worry about how you're developing. Make sure you master semen retention as opposed to calling the world degenerate. Make sure that you're not drinking a drop of alcohol before you call the world heathens and drunkards. Worry about yourself. I'm not worried about going to people are down bad in the world and I wish they could make more money. The governments are corrupt. No, I'm gonna go to these countries and buy a house, like so I can have my own spot. That's it. That's all. I'm telling you. 2026. I'm on some different timing. Do not care about these people. I really don't. Not anymore. I'm telling you. We all have the same ability to heal ourselves and fix ourselves, but we're not doing it. And I realize the world is split up into two types of people. There are the creatives, which are less than 1% of the population, which are people that could just come up with new and nouvelle concepts. They could create worlds of their own that have ideals, structures, facets, edicts, and everything. And then the rest of them are consumers. They consume this type of stuff. They don't care what it is. They just consume. And then they compete amongst each other about who the biggest consumer is, because you consume with money, and that's something to be excited about. This is what the world does. This is what the heathen do. I don't care about these guys anymore. I'm just trying to make sure my semen retention is mastered. We're going to use this energy that I'm getting so I could just do something else. Like we're trying to figure out what I'm trying to get a second home. I'm dead serious. I'm trying to go into Eastern Europe. This is what I'm trying to do. Do not care if they're on senior retention or not. Do not care if they need help up the stairs or not. I really don't. I'm on. This is Somer Del Piso is now on his own. I'm on my own thing now. Dead serious. The world will eat you up. The world will eat you up. I treat them with respect, of course. I'm not saying that we don't treat them with respect, but yeah, I'm not. I'm not. We're not going out of our way to help these freaks anymore. I'm dead serious. Not anymore. And we're not settling, and we're definitely not negotiating our worth anymore. I'm more. I have the creator genetic. I have the creator genetics. Why am I going to try to negotiate my worth with someone whose idea of a catharsis from a long day work, which is probably 8 hours for them, by the way, they don't work 2 jobs, right? Is to come home and listen to Justin Bieber and what's the other one? Selena Gomez and Ariana Grande. And they find connections with these people through their plastic music. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And they only travel to tier 1 cities. Their idea of a vacation is going to the Caribbean. Their idea of a vacation is going to Western Europe. They don't want to go to like Kazakhstan until we have what do you call it? Naomi, whatever her name is, Naomi Osaka or whatever her name is, right? These people, until a celebrity says, "Oh, Kazakhstan is great. Oh my God, I found my life in Kazakhstan," then they're all gonna go to Kazakhstan. No, I want. That's how I know I have the creator gene. I'm going to a country to spend an excess amount of money solely off curiosity. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, this is what I do by myself. We roll in Dolo in Kazakhstan. What's going on, Herzin? What's up? What's the island you got where the arcade are? You got to rephrase that because that sentence is crazy. Yes, normies are horrible. Yeah, normies, they do their thing. They're not horrible. We don't cast judgment on them. But I'm telling you, this year, I am not sacrificing myself for these freaks. I'm telling you. Yeah, Osaka is a creator, a fashion baddie, pro tennis player. Yeah, but when she says, "Oh, it's time to go to Kyrgyzstan for vacation. I got this really nice shoe from there and all the people are nice," then everyone's going to go en masse to Kyrgyzstan. But me, I'm telling you, they could do what they want. Somer's going to do what he wants. Let's see. 300,000 people left Serbia in the 90s. 1/5 of which had a higher education. As we know, Serbians are highly educated. This is what they don't want to tell. They don't tell you this stuff, by the way. Serbia is like one of those intellectual countries, which is why I want to be around Serbia. I feel like if I was there for a long period of time, I'd be like a little different. Okay, we got Serbia. What other countries? Let's look at Japan. Ain't nobody really excited about Japan, man. I'm gonna go only because my sister wants to go in April. That's her birthday month, and that's really about it. And I'm gonna keep myself open. But to be honest, guys, I'm not really excited about going to Japan. If I had a choice to go to Japan or Kazakhstan, I'm picking Kazakhstan. I'm telling you, I'm not very excited to go to this country. Oh, we already know Japan is going through a wow. That is a steep birth rate problem. Wow. So right now, they have 122 million people. In the year 2100, they're going to only have 78 million people. And first of all, they have to change the graph because it's changing. The birth rate is changing rapidly. So Tokyo, probably Osaka, and Kyoto. Let me see. And Nagoya. I never even heard of Nagoya. What's that? Wow, look at all these places. Shizuoka, Sendai, Fukuoka. Wow, this is so cool. Yeah, Tokyo content is going to be cool. Don't you worry. Japan is currently the world's oldest country and is set to, with the most old people. The number of elderly people aged 65 or older accounts for more than a quarter of the population. Wow, up 4 percentage points from 5 years ago. In the last few decades, the country's social security budget increased 15% because there's a lot of old people remaining alive. No one is doing anything in Japan. This is one of the demographic problems Japan must address. I am telling you, it's cooked over there. Wow, guys, listen to this. Most people in Japan identify with a religion. However, it doesn't play a huge role in their everyday lives. Yep. Yep. You see, it's either I was saying that they're either Buddhist or Shintoist. There's a small number of Christians in Japan. But don't linger too much in Tokyo. The country has a lot to offer. Cities like Hiroshima, Yokohama, Izumo are also interesting. Yeah, we're gonna go over there. Obviously, we're not gonna stay in Tokyo. Tokyo has too many white tourists as well, and they're weird. I heard the opposite. I thought there was a lot of Chinese tourists because I spoke to a Japanese woman that came to the restaurant the other day, and I was asking her what her main issues, her qualms were with Tokyo, or whether she likes the new prime minister, the female that's really pushing nationalist ideals, and she was like, she gave me the whole lowdown. Okay, Japan has the highest life expectancy in the world, even though it's expected to fall slightly in the near future. However, with low birth rates, the population is rapidly aging. But in 2007, the country announced its first significant birth rate increase in many years. So could the predictions be false? Who knows? China #1. It's crazy. Yasmin, what's going on? Hello, hello. Unfortunately, Japan has one of the world's highest suicide rates. And it's the leading cause of death for people under 30. Factors in those suicides in the country include social pressure, depression, and unemployment. They are broke in Japan. That is crazy. And the National Police Agency found that suicides linked to job loss increased 65.4%. There was a suicide in Japan every 15 minutes with close to 33,000 reported in 2009. This is one of the many problems Japan will need to control to see its population and economy grow in the future. You see, it's crazy in Japan. It's wild. Everyone has this idea with yeah, exactly. I heard of that. Aokigahara. Yes. My buzz club, Jay Speaks. He said, "Brother, I'm so excited to see your most recent YouTube posting. I'm glad you're back, ready to learn. Yeah, for sure. We've done a lot of integration. We've learned a lot of things. We've traveled a lot. First of all, welcome back, Jay Speaks. Thank you. Number two, we've learned a lot in this past year, and I'm not trying to make myself jaded because of the knowledge or become cynical. I've learned to integrate a lot of the knowledge in an objective way. We stayed on our gym. We stayed on our semen retention habits. We stayed on our diet. We are working a little harder now. We got a new camera. We're about to go to Japan, by the way. You didn't know that, Jay Speaks, but we going. I'm trying to go for August, Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. If I had my way, I would go to Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan before Japan, but that's another story. I probably wouldn't even go to Japan if I had my way. I would probably go to the Baltics, like Latvia and Lithuania and Estonia, by the way. This is what I'm interested in. But anyway, we've integrated this knowledge, and I'm trying to give it to you guys. In a very palatable way. That's really what it is. So yeah, that's really what I'm on. I'm glad that you enjoyed that video. This is how I was really feeling. Okinawa, that's a trip and a half. I looked that up. I'm trying to organize an itinerary with my sister and I. Okinawa might be a little out of the way, but we'll see. We have to spend more than 4 days over there, based on what I researched. But anyway, Japan is cooked. So not only there's first of all, what's the unemployment rate in Japan? Hold on, unemployment rate in Japan. Let's look this up. 2025. Oh, it's low. Oh, okay, never mind. So what's going on? Oh, okay. I thought it was okay. I thought it was high in Japan. Never mind. Yeah, so these guys, they're offing themselves at very, very high rates in Japan. I think that was the inspiration behind Persona 3, by the way. Fun fact, if you guys know that game. I think that was the inspiration behind they wanted to bring awareness to that whole thing. So people are offering themselves in Japan. Well, remember, that's why they're called the salarymen. They're called the karoshi, because like I think shine is like death, and it's like karo. I forgot what that meant, but it has something to do with like constantly working to death. And then there's a hikikomori, which is, let me see. Uh, growing rate of hikikomori in Japan. We're gonna look this up. The number of hikikomori, which are severe social recluses in Japan, has grown significantly, with 1.4 million people, 2% of the working age population living in a state of isolation, and it's growing. This is back in 2022. They're not working in Japan. I knew it. What? Look, it's cooked. It's cooked over there. They are not work. By the way, it's 70% of that 1.46 million hikikomori are men. And COVID exacerbated the problem, made it worse. Why is this happening? Societal pressures, high expectations, rigid social structures, and a culture of shame, especially if you don't work, you're by a certain age, you don't have a family, you're overweight. In Japan, remember that you get fined if you're overweight in Japan. It's wild. And let me turn off the volume. I forgot. She was supposed to answer my message like years ago. Increased internet usage. Remember, the problem with the internet is that it shows you everything. It shows you everything and it trivializes everything through that. It shows marriage. It shows how marriage life is like. It shows how marriage life is like if you are an Indian person. It shows how marriage would be like. It shows you every single experience. Every single experience. That's the problem. And so people get jaded because of this stuff, because they're seeing everything instead of experience, and they think that they don't need to experience it because it's done through the medium of the internet. It's viewed through the medium of the internet. That's the issue. Yeah, right. Karoshi, exactly. Karoshi refers to death by diseases that stem from excess work, high blood pressure, cerebral bleeding. That is nuts. I'm telling you, in response to this growing trend, the Japanese government has intensified support measures, including a minister for social isolation. That's crazy, in creating specialized support centers. That's nuts. 2%, and I know it's more now. Let's look this up. That's crazy. The hikikomori is growing in Japan. Japan is finished. I'm telling you. For individuals, hikikomori often leads to what Tamaki Saito termed as an adolescence without end, a state of prolonged dependency and arrested development. They may experience a deterioration of social skills, increased anxiety about social interaction, and a deepening sense of isolation and hopelessness. The prolonged withdrawal can exacerbate or lead to mental health issues such as depression and anxiety disorders. Although the relationship between hikikomori and pre-existing psychiatric conditions is complex and not always causal. Individuals often suffer from a strong sense of shame, self-blame, and a feeling of being a burden to their families, because it's all, you cannot disappoint your family. You cannot destroy the legacy that your family has made. That's really what it's about in Japan. Damn, for families, hikikomori creates significant emotional and financial strain. Parents often feel a mixture of guilt, anxiety, and frustration and helplessness. Communication within the family frequently breaks down, leading to a hikikomori system where interactions become minimal or dysfunctional, with reinforcing the withdrawal. Domestic violence, either from the hikikomori individual towards parents, even though they're not paying anything to stay in their house, can occur in some cases. The aging of parents and their hikikomori children has led to the 80-50 problem, where parents in their 80s are caring for hikikomori children in their 50s, raising severe concerns about long-term care and financial support after the parents are no longer able to provide. It's over. I'm telling you, we are so finished in this world. This world is kind of, I think we're kind of done for, guys. I think we're kind of done for. That's called seppuku or harakiri. That's when you end yourself. Japan needs to reawaken samurai spirit. What Japan needs to do is they need to offer a rehabilitation center for people that feel this draw towards the hikikomori culture. I think the economy needs to change up a lot, because I'm telling you, these guys the karoshi, their problem on the flip side is that they're working way too much. And I reckon they're continuously working, maybe out of moral duty, misplaced moral duty, or things are just expensive in Japan. And remember, a lot of these guys are not living on their own either. It's expensive in Tokyo, and that's where all the money is at, in the capital. That's the financial capital of Japan. This is what I mean. What good is it making if everything around me collapses? You got to keep going. There's some circles you could roll in Tokyo. Make sure you do well at work. There's some good circles that you can roll in Tokyo. And at the end of the day, you don't have to be friends with anybody. Just do your thing. Work, save your money. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna ask some questions to these guys. I'm gonna find out what's going on in Tokyo. We're gonna ask some questions. What do you think about the hikikomori culture? I know it accounts for only 2% of the entire population, but it's growing. And there's a birth rate crisis happening over in your country. What do you think the reasons are for this? What do you think that the whole rhetoric of the Prime Minister of Japan post World War II of work, work, work so we could reinvigorate the country has lasted too long, is now destroying people? What do you think? There are literally free houses in Japan, but not earthquake proof and not much around. In some, they always had the fame of terminating their own existences. Silly, I'm telling you. And we already know ending your own life is not it. I will too. I'm going to Japan. Do your thing. I'm going to be asking questions as per usual because I just want to figure out what's going on directly. But so we have this thing going on in Japan. We have the birth rate problem in Sweden. Let's talk about Sweden because that's another country with a birth rate issue. Let's look this up. Sweden is cooked. There's a lot of talent in Sweden, but remember, the mentality in Sweden is finished. It's finished. What are Sweden's biggest? I don't know anything about Sweden. I'm going to be honest. I don't know anything about this country. Let's see. It is. Sweden has been ranked as the 4th most competitive country in the world and has a rapidly growing economy with an equal distribution of income. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to tell you something I heard about Sweden. First of all, the women are super feminist in Sweden. It's 50-50 stuff going on in Sweden, prevalently. That's what I also know. And I also know that a lot of the Swedish guys go to Thailand. Like they go abroad to bring wives home, to have wives, because apparently the women are on some crazy stuff over there. If you think that in the United States feminism is bad, wait till you go to Sweden. I heard it's cooked in Sweden. Yeah. This is a place I'm not even excited about going to. 2% of Sweden is Syrian and 2% is Iraqi. Wow. That's crazy. Population increases during 2004 to 2012 have mainly been attributed to immigration from Muslim countries like Iraq, Afghanistan, and Somalia. This translates as an influx of Muslim immigrants as opposed to any other ethnicity. Yep, that's due because remember they're part of the EU, and this is around the time when Angela Merkel was pushing the EU to push all the countries to accept immigrants from Syria. Remember that. Yeah, so it's cooked in Sweden. It's cooked in Sweden. We ain't. I'm not even excited to go over there. You will never. I mean, I will go just to say I went, but that place is not it. All right, let's see. South Korea, right? Oops. South Korea. The clouds formed the Nordic cross, and the blue sky made the background. Ah, thank you for the lore. I had no idea, Mr. Erzim. All right, 51.6 million. Yeah, you got to see the graph that shows the population of South Korea. It's like a parabola. Like right now they're on the decline. In 50 years, they will lose more than half of their population. Wow, South Korea is cooked. There's 10 million people in Seoul. That's crazy. And Busan. Yeah, it's cooked over here. Okay. Korean and English are the only two countries spoken in South Korea. Naturally. I mean, who else is going to be over there? He's at North #1. It's crazy. Okay. The country's birth rate is currently 1.19 children per mother, one of the lowest in the world. That is only larger than birth rates in. Wow, it's cooked in Taiwan. Wow, what is going on? Okay, what's going on? According to the Ministry of Health and Welfare, chronic disease accounts for the majority of diseases in South Korea. Okay, responsible for 81% of deaths. Approximately 20% of all adults in the country smoke. Why are we doing that? Why are we doing this? Imagine smoke. We have all this information. Smoking is horrible for you. This is the multiple ways that it could destroy your life. And that is nuts. South Korea has the second highest suicide rate in the world, although government efforts have led to recent declines. South Korea has the best rate of influenza vaccination in Asia. Okay. Okay. If I tell you that I have three friends, Eric, Carl, and Mustafa, you as a human would immediately notice Mustafa and deduce that everyone in Sweden is called Mustafa. That's not how it works. Right. Of course not. I mean, that's not a normal name, Swedish name. It's a kebab shop in Stockholm. That's hilarious. Yeah, it's cooked over there. Let's see. I think I typed in the United States already, right? Let's go on to the United States, man. Population is growing in the United States, despite what they're telling you. What's the biggest cities? New York is the biggest city. It's the biggest state in the United States. I mean, we knew this. Then it's LA, then it's Chicago. Okay, this is interesting. Currently, the United States is 60.4% white. The country's racial profile will be vastly different by 2055. Whites will remain the single largest racial group in the United States, but they will no longer be the majority. Growth in the Hispanic and Asian populations in the U.S. are predicted to almost triple over the next 40 years. By 2055, the breakdown is estimated to be 48% white, 24% Hispanic, 14% Asian, and 13% Black. So we're not really we're not really moving really in the United States because we've always made up around 13% of the population. As of 2015, 14% of the United States population is foreign born, compared with just 5% in 1965. Nearly 39 million immigrants have come to the U.S. since 1965, with most coming from Asia and Latin America. Behind Mexico, China, and India, China and India have the second highest foreign born populations in the United States. That is nuts. By 2060, the U.S. population will, on average, be older than it is today. Almost 1 in 4 people will be 65 or older. At the same time, the percentage of people who are working 18 to 64 is likely to fall from 63% to 52%. This will have huge implications for society as younger people work to fund the pensions and health care of the older generation. Give us jobs. Give us solid jobs. Bring manufacturing back to the United States. Find corporations that are outsourcing their manufacturing in Bangladesh. This is easy. Bring factory jobs back to the United States. this is simple. Find them. Find corporations that are outsourcing. With the death of the population that grew up in the Cold War, a lot will change. Yeah, we finished in the United States, man. Exactly. Although the United States has the largest overall economy in the world, it does not have the highest GDP per capita. Exactly. With the GDP per capita of 62,606, the United States ranks 10th in the world. The state with the highest GDP per capita is New York, naturally, and the state with the lowest is Mississippi. The language most commonly spoken in the United States is English, which is the primary language of 79.29% of. Wow. So only 4/5 of the United States speak English. It's supposed to be more than that. Spanish is the main language of the 12.85% of residents, and Chinese is the primary language of 0.64%. Okay. This is recent? Look at this. Although legal documents are normally written in English, the United States had no official language at federal level until Executive Order 14224, which designated English as the official language of the United States on March 1st, 2025. So we didn't even have an official language until last year. It's crazy. However, no laws or constitutional amendments further establishing English as the official language of the U.S. has followed, so this designation could easily be overturned by another executive order. At the state level, most, but not all states have English as their official language. Hawaii is the only state to have two official languages, English and Hawaiian, naturally, because it was annexed illegally into the United States, by the way. The cultural diversity of the United States is no more evident than in the wide range of religious beliefs practiced across the country. While Christian tradition is the clear majority at 48.9%, there are many varieties of Christianity, from the more conservative Baptists to evangelicals to the generally more liberal Episcopalians and Quakers. A sizable proportion of the population, 23%, also identifies as Catholic. Again, the views of these individuals vary widely, and many are likely to consider themselves Catholic while only nominally practicing that faith. That's a topic for another video. There are several minority faiths in the United States. Judaism is the religion of 2.1% of the population, but Jewish culture in the United States is highly visible. It's crazy. We don't get, because these guys have spread all over into positions of power. Only 2% of the population practice Judaism. Wow, what? It's also worth noting that a significant minority of the 22.8% of the population identifies as having no religion or as atheist or agnostic. Young people make up the majority of this group, and its numbers are consistently increasing because no one's reading the Bible. No one's reading religious texts at all because they're lazy. The thing is, there's a lot of stuff that they're not including here either. And into the adult film industry. We don't want to talk about that. These guys, there's only 2% of the United States practicing Judaism. A lot of these guys are in positions of power, including they have fingerprints all over the adult film industry. That is nuts. Why would you try to promote adult film content to a population? Why would you do that? Like, why wouldn't you just promote the nuclear family? Like, why is it that you would promote that kind of stuff? That's the question of the ages. What's up, some dude? What's the question? What's the question? Some dude, I just saw it. Why are you deleting your messages? Okay. Yes. No, I haven't. No, I haven't, Erzin. Why is adult film content so popular amongst young men? Let's look this up. Let's see what people are saying about this stuff. Okay, adult film content is popular among young men due to easy, free internet access, high sexual curiosity, and a desire for pleasure and education. It serves as a tool for sexual exploration and confidence building. So stupid. Who wrote this? And in some cases, coping with stress or isolation, by the way, which is reinforcing reasons to stay stressed and isolated. What do you mean mainly Polish women? What do you mean? The normalization of pornography in culture, pornographication further increases its consumption. A shift in social attitudes have moved the focus of sex from procreation to pleasure, making pornography, in some cases, normalized, commonly consumed, or mainstream activity for exploring sexuality. Peace to everyone. Keep seeking the truth and retaining Brother's Gonna Run. Thanks for the wisdom of having me in chat. No problem. It was -15 last night and into this morning. I'm going to take a nap. Yo, good night, Diran. And we'll attract weird incels. This is just horrible. Let's look at this. This is a website. It's called Ballard Brief, BYU.edu. Pornography use among young adults in the United States. Let's look this up. Pornography exists in many forms across the internet, including pictures, videos, A majority of the U.S. population has intentionally viewed pornography before, with an even larger majority of U.S. young adults viewing pornography regularly. Despite the widespread use of and support for pornography, viewing sexually explicit media can have many negative consequences. For example, pornography use has been shown to correlate with decreased sex life satisfaction, lack of positive self-image, and increased chances of divorce. Well, remember, this stuff is super stimuli, and it's nearly endless. There's all this content on the internet, all this disgusting stuff on the internet. Imagine being in a supposed healthy marriage, and you're looking at adult film content. What some dude, I don't know what you're asking. I don't know what you're asking. I can't see your question. While there are many resources to combat pornography use, the main practice to decrease pornography is to publicize its negative consequences and alert people to the risks they assume when they view sexually explicit content. Yep, exactly. So pornography exists on 12% of all websites and is viewed by approximately 70% of American men and 40% of American women in any given year. Libido dominandi. That's interesting. Talks about how sex can be used as a weapon. Of course it can. Hello. Of course. Most people do things because of sex, because of getting pleasure. Seriously. So you could use that. It's just putting a carrot in front of the donkey. Using pornography correlates with decreased life satisfaction, increased desire for rough or violent sex, and increased chances of divorce. Adult film performers, by the way, they don't talk about this, guys. They don't talk about this a lot. Kors talks about how Israel once hijacked Palestinian TV and broadcast. I remember that. I remember that, Erzin. I remember that. Adult film performers face a range of challenging issues, including mental and emotional well-being, such as depression, eating disorders, and even suicide, financial struggles, physical and sexual health risks, strained relationships, and the distressing reality of systematic support for sexual abuse and rape. By the way, it's nuts in the adult film world. I'm telling you, it's nuts in the adult film world. This is such a horrible industry. Such a horrible industry. This is crazy. They have a lot of information on this. Stats on pornography, specifically in the United States, are worth noting. According to one website, Pornhub is the 4th most visited website in the United States after Google, YouTube, and Facebook. Pornhub is visited more than Instagram and Netflix and Pinterest and TikTok combined. What? You see, hello, I'm telling you, guys, I'm telling you, what we don't understand is, and I said this in a video, what I said, I'm glad that Supreme Being is still here because it seems like he's probably the most enlightened here. Well, remember, I made the video saying that thoughts have a vibration to them. And if a lot of people share thoughts of a similar vibration, it lends to the collective consciousness and normalization of those thoughts, even though naturally it's not natural. You understand what I'm saying? So when you have, and this is why this is probably the best time to become enlightened and power up. This is why it's the best time. And it's the best, and Dodgen is in here. Dodgen's in the chat. Dodgen's in the chat. I'm telling you, When you now, that's why you can't fake being on semen retention. And this is the reason why. Because most people in the United States are viewing adult film content, right? And they have those thoughts in their minds as vibrations. And vibrations of a like frequency stick with each other all the time. This has always been the case. Birds of a feather will always flock together. That's why if you are really on your semen retention journey, you're eating the apples, you're eating oranges and citruses, you cook your own foods, you're in the gym, you seek healthy relationships, healthy sexual relationships, I'm telling you, your vibration is going to be completely different. You're going to be at odds with the world naturally because the collective consciousness has been hijacked by the porn frequency. It's just logic. It may sound like I'm wearing a tinfoil hat, but it just makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. Are you aware of a woman ever putting a curse on you? Who knows? I don't know. If this is a curse right now, then please curse away. You know? But Supreme, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, if you can tell who's watching adult film content, if these people are accepted by the world, they don't have presence when they walk into a room because the vibration is the same. You don't have a different vibration. So why are people going to look at you when you enter a room? You watch the adult film content just like they do. And so there's nothing interesting about you. There's nothing interesting about you. But you coming in with confidence, right? That's built off a foundation of sexual continence. Yet, who is this guy? Because your frequency, your broadcast, your vibration is unnatural to the current climate because you don't watch adult film content. That's why I'm telling you, you cannot hide being on semen retention. If you practice it genuinely, the world will marvel at you. This is why there's all these symptoms. This is why there's all these symptoms. Oh, I get stared at. Oh, this happens. People act weird towards me. Oh, people are aggressive. It's because your vibration is completely different. You separated yourself from the collective consciousness because you're not watching adult film content. And so you're weird. This is what it is. I'm telling you. This is nuts. This is nuts. Let's see what else is going on. What is going on here? Look at, this is going to further support what I just said. Regarding personal feelings, let's read the whole thing. One survey found, okay, what is the question is, let me just start from the top. The question is, what is the public view of pornography in the United States? One survey found that Americans aged 13 and older consider content pornographic if it's sexually explicit, displays sexual intercourse, and displays sexual acts, is intended for the arousal of the viewer, or contains full nudity. Regarding personal feelings for or against pornography, a separate study from 2019 showed that 14% of Americans agree or strongly agree that pornography is morally wrong. 14%, while 51% disagree or strongly disagree. So a majority of people think that watching pornography is morally correct, by the way. This is what's going on in the United States. Let's see what else. One study shows that young adults and men are generally more likely than their older or female counterparts to support pornography staying legal. Well, you might as well keep it legal, because if you don't, there's so many addicts on it. So they're just going to have a black market for this stuff. When asked if individuals believe pornography is very bad for society, 37% of baby boomers agree, whereas only 14% of today's young adults agree, which reveals a 23 percentage point decrease between the generations, man. This margin holds true when comparing men and women's answers regarding the same question. 21% agree that men agree that pornography is bad, while 39% of women agree that pornography is bad. I'm telling you. Yep, Erzin, I'm reading that. Yep. Look at this, man. I'm not going to read that. Why is my food reciting the Bible? Because you're weird, you little weirdo. Who is the demographic that this issue affects? Pornography use is not limited by demographics. It's used by many people of varying ages, races, genders, and sexual orientations around the United States. Because of this, percentage of pornography users in the United States look different in every study. But to give a general idea, one study shows that 58% of Americans have watched pornography at least once in their lifetime, naturally, and 27% watched it in the past month. Another says that 1 out of 3 Americans seek porn at least monthly. It's crazy. Sue Smeed, what's going on? How has pornography use evolved over time? Okay, I'm not going to read all this. This is a lot of information. Wow. The addictive nature of pornography. A significant body of research does show that pornographic content has the potential to stimulate a user's brain in ways that resemble addictive brain patterns. We've known about this for years. We've known about this for years. People suffering from any type of addiction demonstrate a psychological phenomenon known as incentive salience, which is a theory about brain function particularly relevant in describing the neural patterns of addicts. The theory suggests that it is possible to want what is not expected to be liked nor remembered to be liked, as well as what is not actually liked when obtained, which is addiction. This is addiction. It's addiction. This is addiction, essentially. That's incentive salience. A theory about brain function, particularly relevant in describing the neural patterns of addicts. A theory suggests that it is possible to, all right, I just read this. Problematic pornography users experience incentive salience. Many users feel heightened impulses to seek out the reward of pornography, which is ultimately release, right? But once it is obtained, the actual enjoyment of watching the pornography is lacking because they just want to release. Everyone wants to rush, right? Which, by the way, which lends to the whole short attention spans. I'm Somer Piso, the genius. I'm telling you, we're breaking it down now. The reason why shorts and TikTok has gotten so popular is because everyone is addicted to shorts. Their attention spans have reduced. Why have their attention spans reduced? Because people they're basically, their brains are being conditioned through pornography. A lot of people are not watching the videos the whole way through, right? However long these adult film content videos are, they're trying to get to the good parts so they can just release. And so that same brain behavior, that mental behavior, is translated to the outer web. Well, that's all that stuff. Pornhub and Google and YouTube and Instagram are all outer web, but that stuff is translated to when you scour YouTube and Instagram for videos. No one wants to sit down and watch the entire video of this person talking about, say, why you should go to Latvia and retire. People are trying to get to the good parts. Are there girls in the video? You know, that's why female thumbnails, right, do much better than a lot of other thumbnails, because there's females. Oh my goodness, like, you know, it touches you on a visceral level. It touches you on a primal level. That's why people just click, oh, there's a girl, I'm gonna click. No one can control themselves. They're all heathen. I've been saying this. I told you this. And this same mental thought process, or the same thought process, because thought is mental, same thought process is translated to all these various areas in their lives. They don't want to pay attention to what they're feeding themselves or how they're feeding themselves, how to be healthy. They want these quick routes to getting fit quickly, which is why, what is it, GLP-1, right? Is that what it is? GLP-1? That's what it is. That's Ozempic, which is that's super popular. And with the emergence and the broadcast of that pill, of that treatment, we found out that body positivity is a complete sham. We found out that that's a lie. People are not, when the fat celebrities are not happy with being fat, right? They're not impressed with their bodies. They just wanted to find a quick, easy way to lose weight because they're lazy. That's what we found out. All of it comes from this one thought pattern, which is adult film content, the consumption of adult film content, quickly getting to the end, quickly pleasuring, which is why everyone's rushing. Everyone's rushing everywhere. No one wants to like take their time and get to, which is why dating apps is a whole popular thing, right? It's easy to date, right? There's no like social anxiety with dating. And you can quickly find out, you can quickly find out what partner is cool for you and all this stuff. Things are treated as commodities. It's crazy. Oh, it's crazy. Adult film content has really destroyed this world. It's really nuts. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. Let's read this right now. Big name pornography sites like Pornhub offer a limited amount of free porn. However, their monetized product is the purchase of monthly subscriptions that allow customers to access premium content. These types of subscriptions can cost anywhere from $10 to $100 per month. Wow, who's paying for that? One estimate claims that 3.3 million people in the US pay for a pornography subscription. And according to a top 10 selling pornography website, 54% of new customers maintain their subscription after the first month. So they're actively paying for adult film content. It is subscriptions like these that fund the continued creation and advertising of pornography by big name companies, the same pornography that is later accessed by billions of Americans on websites like Pornhub every year. Specifically, Pornhub saw 33.5 billion visits in 2018. Other platforms for independent content creators such as OnlyFans employ slightly varied business strategies. Through these platforms, both amateur and professional content creators set up personal accounts and charge subscription fees anywhere from $5 to $50 a month to subscribers. Unlike bigger pornography companies, the performers on these sites keep 80% of the profit, which adds to the appeal of the independent pornography creation. Top content creators on OnlyFans are earning anywhere from $6 to $20 million a year. As such, people are using their content. OnlyFans OnlyFans has 500,000 new users daily and 15 million new users monthly. We are finished. We are finished. That's why attention and perception is power. If you do not pay it, and Benedict Cumberbatch in the BBC Sherlock show said it best. He is not a genius. Watson asked him, how are you so smart? How are you able to break down all of these crimes? How are you able to find out who did it so quickly? He's like, I'm not a genius. I'm not a prodigy by any means. The thing is, I control what I perceive and what I give my attention to. Always. If I have to solve a crime about a kidnapping, I don't fill my mind up with social media content or adult film content because it's going to ruin how you perceive the information. Rather, he fills his mind up with only things about the case. And that's how it works. You have to pay attention to what you're paying attention to, or else you're going to be cooked. I'm telling you, this is what's going on in the world. Let's see. I know that in Poland and in Russia, there's increased pornography usage. What countries have the highest pornography usage? Consumption. I guess we could say that. The Philippines, India, of course, India, and the United States and several countries in Europe, notably France and Germany, frequently top the list for pornography consumption. Come on. Wow, what is going on? Let's look at these stats. 2025, because they're not going to have anything in for this year. So in 2025, the United States obviously leads. Oh, that's not obvious. Leads in total traffic volume, while countries like the Philippines, Indonesia, and Brazil show high engagement rates. Reports indicate that the Philippines has the highest percentage of female viewers. Wow, while France has the highest percentage of male viewers. Why are these guys looking at this stuff, man? It's crazy. We got the information, lads. Yeah. What I'm saying is this. You need to worry, like Dajin said it correct. You need to worry about what you're paying attention to. Seriously. Instagram can be good. Like I said, the internet is a double-edged sword because especially with Instagram has the never-ending reels, right? You could keep flipping through reels. And I find myself doing that a lot, by the way. The thing is, my algorithm is full of some crazy stuff, which is pretty good. It's not anything adult film content related. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I have some top tier, very sophisticated humor in my Instagram reel algorithm. But a lot of people follow. I see a lot of my friends. I'm about to unfollow a lot of these guys. They follow a lot of these adult film content creators, and they're just obsessed with these half-naked women that are on Instagram, just selling themselves and ultimately selling us subscriptions to their OnlyFans. What's going on, Time? He said, Sombra, stay blessed and balanced in life. I can't wait for you to travel the world and show us the places so that we can make a trip there too. This is why I'm telling you the Passport Bro movement was doomed to fail. Dajin, I don't know if you're still here. The reason why that thing was doomed to fail is because and this is what I realized too. Listen, it's cooked in the United States when it comes to dating, for sure. There are some good apples, but there's a lot of bad apples, and the majority of it is bad. But what led to those bad apples as well? It's due to unenlightened men that don't have any boundaries and don't have any sort of austerity measures on themselves when it comes to seeking pleasure. It's like there's jokes on Instagram I see is like, oh, when you spent $50 on gas and $200 on a dinner date, right, to travel to your dinner date only to get a side hug, which is like implicitly stating that women are only good for sex. It's crazy. It's like you didn't enjoy her company, you didn't enjoy having a conversation with her. No, she's only as good as sex, and if I didn't get sex at the end of the night, it was a waste spending $250 on dinner and the gas. Like, this is what's going on. It's just as dead as long-term dating. Long distance dating, you mean? Like, this is what's going on in the world. By the way, in China, dating is bad in China too. Apparently, if women are 30 and over, they're like unwanted because they're too old. It's cooked in China too with dating. China dating is wild. And I think the birth rate in China is pretty low, isn't it? Let's look this up. Leftover women, which is kind of nuts, but hey, what can you do? Yep, China's population is declining. Yeah, China's population is declining crazily. Oh, they had the most people in Shanghai, then Beijing, then Chongqing. About 10% of China lives on $1 a day. Anyway, what's going on, Uzman? Welcome. Anyway, we already know adult film content is not it. We've already said this. I'm telling you. It's all a vibration. Everything is energy, lads. And I've been saying this for a while. He said, no, long term. Look at the trend with people wanting to be single with casual relationships. Oh yeah. That's right. Okay. You're right. You're absolutely right. Got it. You are absolutely correct. Because there's this whole thing where we have so many options now. My bad, Dodgen. You are absolutely correct. No one wants to be in. Most people do not want to be in long-term relationships, whether they were scarred because of something that happened to them when they were in a long-term relationship, or we have, again, the internet broadcasting this adult film content-esque mindset, which is you have a million options and the perfect person exists if they don't make you angry in any way. There's no negatives about this person. They have a lot of sexual stamina. they have a lot of money, right? They have a lot of status. These are the essential things that people are looking for, right? And if they don't have this, they go on to the next person. Everyone is disposable. No one is important. Your only value is as how much of the aforementioned three things that people are looking for that you bring to the situation. Long-term dating, what that reveals are indubitably are the complete range and spectrum of the personalities of both people. The good and the bad, essentially speaking. And once people see some of the bad, okay, I don't like this. I want to go. There's so many options. We could always do better. Everyone could always do better. There are better people out there. That's why I'm telling you, I am not losing sleep with this Albanian girl. Because I know that I brought my best to that table. I'm sorry to make it to sidetrack a little bit, but I know I brought my best. When she went on vacation, I went to her country, saw her family, was accepted by her family. I've done so many things. I showed up, I was present, I loved deeply. It didn't work. Trust me, there's a lot of guys that are not doing this, for sure. There are a lot of people that are just not doing this in real life because people just don't have the patience. Once there's resistance or obstacles in any way, people are just going to go with the better option. or what they deem is the better option. No one is going to stay around. I'm telling you, we are cooked in the world right now. We are cooked. And this dating app culture has spread to Beograd, is spread to Sofia. We are cooked. We are finished, guys. I think we are finished, guys. I think we might be finished. I think we might be finished. Like, let me tell you something, Dajin. In Italy, in South Italy, like when my mom lived in Tenerife, like in the south of Spain, she said the amount of no strings attached, casual sex type of relationships amongst the older people, like in their 40s and 50s, in south of Spain, were very high. These guys are heathen over there, and then on Sundays they're still going to church, and then they could recite the entirety of Exodus to you. They recite the entirety of the Exodus book to you, but they're still having no strings attached type of sex, and they're seeking that type of hookup culture. I'm telling you, the world might be finished. I'm telling you, the world might be done. My mom was saying how many things she got invited to, like, like situations, not like some crazy like Diddy type parties. But I'm telling you, these guys are degenerate over there. And this is what I'm saying. In the United States, I feel like in the United States and like the UK, like Western Europe, some parts of Western Europe, I feel like we are practicing semen retention the most. Yep, like some Swigger type stuff. I'm telling you, these guys are degenerate in Europe. I've been saying that this is what happens when you don't work a lot. I'm telling you, when you don't work a lot. We have some degenerates here. Don't get me wrong. The United States are full of degenerates. But then again, a lot of these guys are not really working a lot as well. But a lot more of us in the United States are working more than they are in Europe. But these guys are degenerate in Europe. I'm telling you. Oh, I like Europe. It's such a slower pace of life. Yeah, because these guys don't work and they're just sleeping with each other all day on drugs. Like in the south of France and whatnot, these guys are smoking all night, all day, all night, drinking coffees and alcohol, and then using sex drugs to sleep with young people because they have the money to do so. That's their only attractive factor. They don't work on their bodies. They don't work on demystifying the faith. They don't worry about driving around, exploring Europe, or just enjoying their own company. They're just doing degenerate stuff. Hello. The American women are always they're always in Italy, south of France, Greece, getting blown out. I'm telling you, there's a lot of degeneracy in Europe. I was telling you this. Eastern Europe, okay. Yes, there are some, I guess, I wouldn't really know. I think that these guys are proud. Like they're very proud of their their Orthodox Christianity, Christian heritage, stuff like that. But then again, if you're not looking for that kind of stuff, and if you're not on that vibration, then you're not going to find that kind of stuff. That's what I realized. In Montenegro, I remember I saw these sex workers in the restaurant. Because I'm like, yo, it's too cold. They're hanging out by themselves. And she has a patent leather leggings on. I'm like, yeah, she's definitely working. He said, Fabio working overtime. They're degenerate over there. They drink coffee all day, and then they pay for sex. I'm telling you, it's cooked over there. You work less hours, you're less fatigued, and you have more energy for other things. No, it's just that your mind wanders. The devil's hands are the idle hands are the devil's workshop. That's really what it is. They're degenerate in Europe. And that's what it is. The economy, this is why I'm not gonna lie, I have a small aversion to Colombia now. This is why I'm not very excited to go back to Colombia. Because they're not intellectual over there. They just like, I'm telling you, they're just sleeping around. It's just it's a huge sexual nature. They only communicate with their bodies. And it's like, that's not exciting for me now. That's not something I'm interested in. This is what they do in Colombia. It's huge. There's no intellectual culture in Colombia. That's it. I'm telling you, this is why Colombia is not interesting to me anymore. It used to be so interesting because I was at a different mindset. And even when I was there, I used my time there, my tenure over there for a higher purpose. I learned the language. I learned Spanish. I wasn't going around to clubs. I decided to go to random restaurants and embarrass myself with the little Spanish that I picked up from the people that I spoke to every day. So I used it for its intended purpose. I'm telling you, Latin America's not it. He said, what is the term? Idle hands are the devil's workshop. When your hands are idle, when you're not doing anything, then the devil could use your hands to do something degenerate. And so we're relating that to Europe. They're not doing anything a lot. They have a lot of work-life balance in Europe, and so these guys get into wild stuff. I remember the cook in my restaurant, the Georgian restaurant. He said, "Oh, Sombra, you don't want to go to Amsterdam. Like these guys get super, they get super twisted, drunk. They do all these drugs, and they start doing some freaky stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good." He said, "I thought an idle man was idle hands are the devil's workshop." Whatever. Same concept. It's idle hands though. He said European women be going to Africa for play too. Hello, there's this guy on YouTube. His name is Gatsu. He's this guy from Georgia. He's funny as hell. He has a video talking about how the passport girls, where there are women from Britain going to the Gambia and paying for play. Because remember, they're coming in with British pounds. And the average monthly salary of a Gambian is like $20 or something like that. They're not making any money in the Gambia. I'm telling you, the world is degenerate. The world is degenerate. The world is degenerate. I'm telling you, these guys they don't want to practice any sort of austerity measures on the self. They do not. They do not. They go around sleeping around. This is what they do. They go to the poorest places just for BBC. Because the problem with individuals is this. There's a lot of experiences that a lot of people have not experienced, like dating outside of their race, for example, or traveling or so on and so forth. And they get caught up in these worlds where it's only serves one function, which is just pleasure. And that relationships just based on pleasure are not sustainable. They're not. They're not. And they don't understand that. And also, ultimately, people are searching for like real intimacy. But the thing is, they believe through sexual pleasure, bodily pleasure, physical pleasure, they're getting real intimacy, and it's not true. But they don't know the difference because a lot of people have not experienced real intimacy, true intimacy, where your soul is being touched by the other person. They have not. They believe that they're being touched because they're physically being touched and it feels good on a visceral level, which is your emotional body, but not your soul. And that's what people don't understand because they've never felt that. That's the problem. A lot of these guys just seek pleasure. They think that it defines their lives. It defines their lives. Like the Albanian chick, she was like, I remember one day, because I said it's very, because we saw this crazy movie with Timothée Chalamet weeks ago, where it's this dude is playing as he was gay, and he wanted to have some crazy fun with Armie Hammer, or Arnie, what's his name, Arnie Hammer, whatever. It was like Call My Name. I don't know if you guys know that movie with Timothée Chalamet. Some crazy thing. The girl wanted to see it. I'm there laughing the whole time because I'm just like, there's some crazy stuff, right? Like, because there was some beautiful Italian girl that liked Timothée Chalamet in the movie, and he's like, no, I need men. It's crazy. He curved some really good looking, devoted Southern Italian woman for a dude. I'm telling you, we cooked. We're finished. It was crazy. But I said, I like this. It seemed I like the environment of the movie because it's very beautiful, very open spaces. But this is why Italy don't really contribute anything on the global stage, because a lot of these people, they carry on these traditions of just not working a lot, picking the garden, selling olive oil, and they not really contributing to the world stage. They're just sitting around relaxing all day. And then she was like, your value as a person should not be determined by how much you contribute to the global stage. And I said, listen, you're absolutely right, But I think that it's a mix. It's a combination of the two. Yes, it's cool. Enjoy these environments, enjoy nature, but also you have a duty as since the world is now everything is globalized. You know, we import and export from various economies all over the world. You have to try to maximize your output so you can receive a lot of money, right? So you could bolster the country's GDP and help out in taxes, right? This is what you do, right? This is how you work. But these guys are not really contributing anything. These guys, in South Italy, these guys are sitting around all day. They're not doing anything in South Italy. Nothing in South Italy. They're not nothing. They're doing some agriculture type stuff, picking grapes for wines and whatnot. They're showing off the wine and wine tours. What is it per person? One person is paying 35 euro for a wine tour. It's a wine tour of 5 people. They're doing that for 3 hours in the day. They have 2-3 groups in the day showing off wine bottles and whatnot. Like, what are they really doing? They're not really doing anything. They're not trying to bolster Milan. They're not trying to bolster an IT sector in Roma, in Puglia, and Bologna. They're not trying to do that. They're sitting around all day, talking about wine in a passionate way. Belly. They don't do cardio in South Italy. They're not doing cardio in South Italy. Let's call it what it is. They ain't doing cardio in South Italy. They're not doing cardio in South Italy. They're eating pasta, a lot of pasta in South Italy. I don't know if you guys know about this. That's great. The tradition, it's very good. What is it? Is it Naples that they have the pasta and the pizza? I forget. It's one of them. Naples, I forget. Sicily, one of them, I forget. But we already know pasta is one of the most horrible carbs that you could consume. Very poisonous. Pasta is very poisonous carb. You want to mitigate the amount of pasta you eat. This is what's going on. I'm telling you, man. This is what's going on, man. This is what's going on. And then they're eating pork because we know they love the prosciutto di Parma, prosciutto cotto. They're eating the prosciutto. And pork is one of the worst meats. It's salty as hell. These guys is eating all day, slow, glasses, tan skin, talking about, they just talking all day. They roll the prosciutto with the pecorino romano and the sottocinere. I know the culture, but it's just a culture of excess and low output. That's really what it is. Cardio, this is a new pasta. It's crazy. Even the men in Thailand, they get beat by, but yeah, the women work in Thailand. The men just stay at home, which is crazy, by the way. I think that's kind of nuts. But listen, I don't know. They do things differently. Let's find out what's going on in Thailand. Actually, let's look that up. But you see, this is my point of view. In Europe, they're a little degenerate. That was my main point. Okay, Thailand's population is decreasing a little. What's the biggest city? Bangkok, Chonburi, Samut Prakan, Chiang Mai. Okay. The official language of Thailand is Thai, with over 90% of the population using the language in their daily in their homes and work lives. Okay. Most people in Thailand are Buddhists. We knew that. It's widely accepted that AIDS has reached epidemic proportions in this country, and in the present day, at least 700,000 Thais are HIV positive or have AIDS. Wow. This represents 2% of the male population and 1.5% of the female population. Oh my gosh. Whoa. I'm telling you, there's a lot of single people in Thailand too, especially the women. I'm telling you, what they said in the Latin. This is what I'm saying with like any of these countries. You touch nothing but the lamp. I'm telling you, don't touch anything. They have no discipline in these places. It's crazy. You said check out Japan. Japan's population growth. We just looked it up, but I'll look it up again for you, Usman. It's declining rapidly. I'm gonna show you right now. That's all of Modor. What's that? What's Modor? There's a lot of people that are carrying around sexually transmitted diseases in Thailand. People don't want to talk about it. And Brazil is crazy too. That's why I'm like, there's a big cheating problem over there in Thailand, and apparently the people don't really meet each other through just men approaching women. It's through friends and groups. It's crazy, man. Yeah, like I was saying, Uzman, the population growth is declining rapidly in Japan. Seriously, it's nuts. The largest native ethnic group in Japan is the Yamato people, although large minority groups include the indigenous Ryukyuan and Ainu people. Wow. Aren't Ainus, there's like, Dominicans are part like Ainu, part Taino as well, right? It's interesting. While Japan may seem homogenous in terms of ethnicity and culture, this may be due to Japan's absence of racial and ethnic statistics for Japanese nationals. The country has traditionally rejected the need to recognize ethnic differences in Japan, and the former Japanese Prime Minister Taro Aso described the country as one nation, one civilization, one language, one culture, and one race. First of all, country this is the only country where where they're working countless hours and the economy is still stagnant. Things are still expensive. There's a growing hikikomori culture over there with more than 2% of the population that identify themselves as hikikomori. They're not working and they're depending on their 50-year-old parents to take care of them. Actually, they're older than that because a lot of hikikomori people are like in their 50s, not working, no girl, nothing, and it's growing. Yeah, one nation, my foot. Japan is getting cooked. Let me see. The main religion in Japan is Shintoism. I thought it was Buddhism. Wow, I didn't know. Look at that. But it's only by a small amount. There were a lot of clinics in Japan and Thailand just for HIV. Yeah, and this is why the passport bro target destinations. I'm telling you, these places are not it. I'm gonna describe it. Let me just talk about it right now. I'm just gonna read the rest of the messages. Degeneracy is on the rise. What follows is STD increase in a cooked dating market. Exactly. Jaded people. This is what people don't understand. Now, most Japanese aren't Shinto anymore. It says it right here. 69% are Shinto, and the remainder are Buddhist. Apparently, true native Japanese are darker in skin tone. Yeah, we gotta check them out. They're what are they called? The Yamato people, right? If a real bro wants to meet someone over there, a lot of them would open up if you speak their language. They actually take their time before getting into a relationship, which all people should do. One guy I met in Thailand said that Buddhism and Shintoism isn't followed like it was in the past because these guys are lazy because their minds have been hijacked. All the young people's thought processes have been hijacked because they all are watching adult film content because they're not interacting as their predecessors were with each other. Everything has been made easy. Everything has been made easy. Dating apps, the internet, Instagram. You don't have to take a risk anymore. And so their minds are just hijacked. Why am I going to sit down and try to... And a lot of them abhor their parents, even though they're the ones that paved the way for them to even have this sort of liberal ass mindset. And so they want to stay away from those traditional values, which include reading about Buddhism and Shintoism and Christianity. I'm telling you, it's cooked. It's cooked, man. It's so we're finished. Como está você? What's up? He said, Sombra, what is your car? I don't know. I don't have a car. We cooked. We're finished. We're finished. People don't understand anything. I'm telling you, what have we learned today? What have we learned today? Because we need like basically a sum up of what we went through. Right? We need a sum up. I think that we are not really paying enough attention to the growing scourge that is adult film content. I don't think we're paying attention to it. I don't think we're paying attention to it. There are some societies that are that are better, right? Or are much more traditional, I guess, where people talk to each other and all this kind of stuff. But it's all getting worse. The thing is, like with Georgia too, these guys are like in Tbilisi. A lot of these guys are sassy over there. It's crazy. It's crazy in Tbilisi. And ultimately, too, a lot of these cultures are very they like to consume. They're not creators. They're not creatives. They're not. Even the content creators, like if you go through Instagram, you flip through the reels for a long period, you see people from different cultures making the same types of reels with the same captions. They use these types of things to get famous, and then that's it. They don't provide any real content. Nothing real. Nothing authentic. None of these cultures, none of these people are creators. Not one. The richer countries are not struggling enough. That's why we have all these crazy problems like I'd rather choose the bear and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, what? What are you talking? You would rather shack up with a bear than a human male. You have to get creative when you're in a struggle. Or you just channel. That's what it is. You just channel it. You just channel this energy. But ultimately, struggle is synonymous with impetus. And a lot of us are not having enough impetuses, like you said, to become creative. A lot of us are just cruising along. We're not seeking anything. That is the issue. That is the biggest issue. No one is creative. Like you go to Georgia, no one's creative over there. You go to Bulgaria, like these are beautiful cultures. I don't get me wrong. I love Serbia. I love these places. But the thing is, they're not creatives over there. They're really not. A lot of people that I did meet, a lot of the young people, they are passionate. They are intellectual, more than a lot of other places that I've been to. Sure, but they're not creatives. You're not going to get like some profound ideas from these guys. You're really not. That's the truth of the matter. It's really unfortunate. A lot of them lose their inner light. There it is. You see, and this is why the more you understand, if you really look at life in an objective way, you really like are looking at what's going on. You really understand like a lot of these religious texts were really saying what's real. Seriously, you cannot fake being someone of light. You cannot fake being on semen retention. You cannot fake these things because there's a vibration. Your vibration is based on what is inside of you. What are your inner thoughts? What's in your subconscious? Who are you? What are your emotions, your prevalent emotions? Everything that is broadcasted from you is a reflection of the inside, which is why semen retention is dangerous because it shows everyone that you are not part of the collective consciousness. And that's why you're a problem. That's why you get into arguments. That's why you get bumped into. That's why you have all these symptoms of having aggression with the public. It's because the collective consciousness is degenerate now. And being on semen retention for a long period of time, you are not degenerate. That's what it is. This is all it is. It's all it is. It's nothing magical. It is just basically a mismatch of frequencies. Adults have lost their imagination because of life and jobs because they're not seeing. They see these things as like routine. They're not looking at life as an adventure. This is what happens when you don't retain that spark. That's what did they say? You have to be as a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is not a literal place. It's not next to Kazakhstan. It's not next to Bulgaria. It is it's a place within. It's a state of mind. It's a level like nirvana, right? These are all levels. If you retain that spark, but remember, you don't retain it as a child would. You just retain that childlike curiosity, and you channel and transmute the spark into the what's necessary with the duties and responsibilities of the various phases, the successive phases of your life. You have to carry that spark with you. You transmute it. You let it go through. That's how you do it. That's the way you do it. That's why you will always, if you do that, you will always be at odds with this world. You will always be at odds with this world because the world they don't teach you how to do this. You could be a successful businessman. Elon Musk is not teaching you how to do this. No one is telling you how to do this. No one is. They're not telling you these truths. They teach you to be a consumer. You have to showcase your wealth, which ultimately you're broadcasting to the world. Hey, I'm not a creative. I am a consumer. I have no creative bone in my body. This is how I heard you're supposed to talk to women, so I'm going to talk to women like this. When you could just be yourself, and then you will attract people that you're actually very comfortable with because you're only being yourself. You have nothing to hide. This is what they don't get. They don't get this. They don't get this at all because we've been taught the wrong ways. We need to race to financial freedom. We need to race to being rich. We need to show off to everyone. We need to race to have status. For what? Why do you want to be worshipped? Why is it that you want to be worshipped? What are you actually bringing to the world which signifies worship or which validates worship? What are you bringing? Are you bringing something creative like Mega Man Battle Network 7 or something? Which I think if they created another Mega Man Battle Network game, I'm telling you, it could be on some next level. I'm just saying right now, it could be, if they touch up on the dark web, trafficking, AI, versus they could bring up so many concepts in a new Mega Man Battle Network game. I'm just saying, but people are not thinking about this. Who cares? They want Porsches. They want to be included in the high life when these guys are not doing anything. They're not creative. They're not doing anything. Battle Network already has AI. I'm talking about made AI. Well, because ultimately these guys are AI, right? Like Gutsman, Mega Man. But I'm talking about like rogue AI or something that where there's navies without any operators. They have their own factions. They become too sentient. They find a way to go into the real world, subjugate human beings, make them feel like how they felt when they were a subjugated AI, make organizations, create battle chips, harvest the energy from dark chips. They could get on some really crazy stuff with a new Mega Man Battle Network game. They really could. A lot of concepts. They can create a lot of crazy new concepts. Seriously, but he said IT would be dope. My brother's brother-in-law is a huge Battle Network fan, so we talked about a 7. I'm telling you, there needs to be another one. There needs to be another one. But remember, if you looked at the sales for this game, it wasn't really doing well. It was just diminished. After 4, it just made less and less and less money. So anyway, that was a great talk. I felt good. I think that we need to stop looking at adult film content. Retain your what do you call it? Retain your sovereignty. Retain your sovereignty, gentlemen. Seriously, stay on semen retention. Stop, because you're only duping yourself. Remember, he who commits sin sexually sins against his own body. That's really what it is. Basically, Jesus is talking about you're changing your perception of the world. You're fitting in to the collective consciousness, which is evil, by the way, and degenerate. He who sins sinneth against his own body. That's really what it is. You're just playing yourself watching adult film content. But people don't get it, and that's fine. Like I said, it's 2026. Sombra Del Piso is not, I am no savior, and I am not in the business to be a savior. I don't want to save any of y'all. I do not care anymore. I've gotten out of a situation where I was giving an excessive amount of good energy to a woman that did not know what to do with it. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. If you want to come meet me where I'm at, well, let's do it. We could run together. If not, yeah, I'm not gonna meet you. I'm good. Sombra Del Piso is fine. I'm gonna be fine. What did P. Diddy say? He's like, get him to the Greek. He's like, y'all own not one kookaroo. I got 21 kookaroos. Y'all are effed. Sergio gonna be fine come a recession. I'm good. I already mastered team retention. We got a trip going to Japan. We already embodied the mantra, touch nothing but the lamp. We're not sleeping with anybody. We're keeping our energy intact. We already have the aqueduct form and the system and structures in place form to deal with with excessive lust. We're good. I'm good. Sober Del Piso is good. We are fine. I'm not trying to save not a living soul. I'm so serious. I am so serious. Do not care anymore. I'm just trying to rise. I'm just trying to rise. You know? And the people that actually see my value, that's great. And I'm not trying to negotiate my worth anymore. We're not trying to prove, and I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm not doing anything. I swear. This year, moving forward, I'm not doing anything. We're not trying to prove our worth. We're not trying to negotiate. We're not trying to beg, plead. Yeah. We can make our own money. We can travel wherever we want. I could reside in Georgia. I can identify as a Georgian if I wanted to. I can identify as a Kazakh if I wanted to. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. You guys could do whatever it is that you want. We could do whatever it is that we want. This is a new life. I'm telling you, you could do whatever it is that you want. You have the dedication and you have the fortitude to stick with it alone. You can do whatever it is that you want. You do not have to take a bride of the world. You do not. Especially just for status, to prove what to who. These people are nothing. They don't do anything. They have scholastic accolades. They don't do anything. They seek to just consume. They don't create anything. They seek to just prove themselves to other people. Why? Why are we trying to be in their good graces? Like, it doesn't matter. Stop trying to be accepted by this place. I'm telling you, it's a waste of time. And it'll change you, destroy you. No one trying to be, you could do whatever it is that you could go into Georgia and say you're Georgian. You could do whatever it is. You could go to China and say you're Chinese. You could do whatever it is that you want. You could go anywhere you want. You can stay wherever you want. You don't have to abide by any of these little social constructs that they tell you. You don't have to do any of that. You don't. You don't. As long as you have your energy, you have your ryatsu, and you have your focus, you have your structures in place, you got your savings intact, you don't have to listen to a damn soul. Make sure your disciplines are intact. Don't drink what they give you. Doesn't matter how many thousands of years they've been doing it. It's the objective result of drinking alcohol is akin to a neurotoxin. Do not drink it. Do not touch anything but the lamp. That's it. That is it. 2026, man. 2026. What's going on, Yana? Привет. What's going on? That's what I'm on. That's what I'm on. I don't care about tradition. I don't care about legacy. I don't care about culture. I care about none of that. All I care about is optimizing health. Optimizing health and making sure I'm good mentally. That's really it. And I'm not overgiving, to people that don't deserve it. We don't have to do any of this stuff, man. Love the hat. Thank you, Gabby. This is the second person that said that. Thank you. Thank you very much. It needs to go through, I think I need to clean it. I need to dry clean it. Anyway, guys, I got to get out of here. I have to go to work. I got to close. It's restaurant week. We're about to make more chicken. The thing is, we got a lot of people on deck today. We got me, the bartender, my favorite person, new guy. Yeah, we got mad people today. Hopefully someone gets cut. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people. It's crazy. It's crazy. You see that? It's crazy. Crazy. Anyway, how many closers do we have? We got 4 closers. That's never happens. Wow. Sober Del Piso, man. Scarcely working. I love that song, actually. It's a good content creator. Well, it's okay. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I love you all. Thank you so much. Don't ever let this place get you down. I'm telling you, you can do whatever it is that you want in this world. And this is what I'm seeking. You do not feel that you have to do anything for anyone. You don't have to be a savior. You don't have to be a hero. You don't owe anyone anything. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to prove yourself in front of anybody. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to do any of that. This is 2026. That's it. You can go to whatever society you want in this world. Set up shop. You can do whatever it is that you want. The only way they're taking you out is with a bullet and in a stretcher. That's what you need. That's the type of timing you need to be on. You don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to negotiate. You don't have to have an olive branch. None of that. You don't need any of that stuff. You could do whatever it is that you want. Whatever it is that you want. That's it. That's it. Now, I'm going to drain the main vein, and I'm going to get ready for trabajo. So I love you all, guys. Stay radiant. I'm going to see you guys in the next live stream, probably tomorrow. Right? Let me see. It's 19 degrees. Okay. Anyway, I love you all. Yana, uvidimsia vpoje. Right? I know I said that right. Let me know if I said it right. Bro, can you make it clap? Yo, you need to get out of the United States. Yeah, you got to get out of your parents' house first. It's crazy. Asking another man to make it clap. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. Uvidimsia vpoje. Yana. And I got to get my paruski up. Remember, sometimes we are stuck in paradigms and prisons of ideology based on the languages that we know. And we could free ourselves through learning different languages, by the way. Just saying. And this is what I need to be on that. I need to be on that. We need to, utilize the soul charge, have us learn the Cyrillic and the Paruski. Because once we learn those, there's going to be very little in this place that I can't do. I'm just telling you that right now. And we don't got to listen to anybody. Anyway, guys, I love you all. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Next live stream. Peace. Peace.